I know it's been a little while. Today I'd like to show you how to make a couple of really beautiful pieces of jewelry using product from our Occasions mini catalog. Okay, this is actually going to be part one of this video, so you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned for the second part. I'm going to be using the new soda pop tops, which are from the mini catalog. They come in a beautiful little package in two sizes, this large size, and then also this smaller size. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Big Shot, and we're going to take it on no tabs. So we're going to move our tabs over, and we're going to put our cutting pads in, and we're going to put our pop top face up, so with the ridge side up, and we're going to run it through the machine so that we get a nice flattened top. Okay, so now that we've gotten our top flattened, we've got to create a stamped insert. So using the Collage Curio set from the Occasions Mini, as well as an oldie but goodie from the catalog called Tiny Tags, I'm going to create the center of my bracelet. I'm going to be stamping on very vanilla cardstock, and as you can see, I'm using scraps. And I'm going to be stamping a couple of different items and kind of layering it. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so what I've created is a little monogram for myself, because I'm making this bracelet for myself actually. I used the pendant from the Collage Curio set with some Primrose Petals ink. I used the word create in crumb cake ink. That create comes from the Tiny Tag set. And then I used an initial, and I needed a small one, so I used the letter P, which came from this stamp set called Occasions Alphabet. I'm going to now cover this image in Versamark ink into the ink pad. I won't do it here, but I'll do it through the magic of TV, and then put clear embossing powder over the top. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, through the magic of TV, I have already now embossed, and you should be able to see that there's a nice shiny coat. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because the next product that I'm going to be using is our Crystal Effects. And by using classic ink, when I put this Crystal Effects on top of it, it can blur, because our ink is water-based and this is water-based, it can blur the ink image, and I want it to be nice and clear. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take some of our Tombow liquid glue, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that right onto the center of the bottle cap so that I can glue my paper image in there. I want to go ahead and let that paper image dry for probably about 20 minutes or so that it's really stuck in there really good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side. While I was also embossing, I created some little tiny pieces that are going to go into my small bottle caps. These I stamped on our newsprint paper. I used various images. I used the butterfly and the bee from the Collage Curio set. I used the crown and the heart from our Tiny Tag set, and I just stamped those with ink on the newsprint, and I punched them out with our 1/2-inch circle punch, and I went ahead and I clear embossed those as well. So I did that while you were away. Okay, for the small pop tops, they do not go well through the Big Shot. They get totally flattened out and are not usable. So I have my trusty little pretty Stampin' Up! Hammer, and whatever one you have is fine, but this is what I use. I put this cap face down, the pointy side down, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to cover it up with a piece of tissue, or this happens to be a baby wipe, just so I have a little bit of cushion, and I'm going to go ahead and try to just bang this down. A little harder. Almost there. Perfect. So now I've got my squished baby bottle cap. And the process is the same. A little Tombow liquid glue. I'm going to glue my image in there, and I'm going to let them sit for about 20 minutes or half hour, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, so the next step is to take your crystal effects. Don't shake it because you don't want any air bubbles in there. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your, I kind of put it in the center, and I put a big blob, and then I start to work around the entire circle. Now, it looks really cloudy when it's wet. Over a period of about, I'm going to say 2 to 3 hours, sometimes longer. A lot of times what I do when I'm working with crystal effects is I do it and then I let it dry overnight, so I have to plan my projects accordingly. So, once it's dry, however, it's going to be much clearer to see. And that crystal effects will, go downward. It's not going to leave you this upward slope. Now, what I did after doing this particular bottle cap was then I put a little tiny silver jump ring, and I just bought some really pretty chain. I also bought some pretty closures, and I went ahead and put my pop top on there. So this makes a very pretty and very fashionable bracelet. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you come back again and watch part 2, because the bracelet that I started today I will have finished, as well as some other fantabulous jewelry specimens using product from the Occasions Mini. Happy stamping!